Right. So far we are able to basically do almost everything. We're able to see our students, we're able to create new students, so on and so forth. So what you want to do now is maybe to protect this particular route, because we not want all these details available to say someone who's not registered in our site. So they're going to talk about authentication. Now this is some of the things that are better suited to be done by an external tool rather than doing it ourselves. So we're going to look into something called Django Redux. Okay, here you go. So Django Redux does a lot of the work for us, and so it allows us, like, it takes care of the login, registration, forgotten password, and all other common activities that surround user registration. So since your application is not the primary business value that it offers is not just registration, it makes sense to actually leave that to another system to take care of it for you. So the solution is given here. So first of all, make sure that you read the documentation so you can understand what it's all about. Right? So you're going to use pip to install it. Okay. So you're just going to come right here. Okay. Then I'm going to stop the server. Now you must make sure that you're in your virtual environment. Otherwise this will get installed in the global environment, which you don't want. Right? That's the first thing you need to do. Right. So there you have it installed. Let's see what are the next steps. Okay. So we need to register it in our application. So you can see here, this is in our settings file. So go to our settings file, which is usually here, settings. Okay, so here we have the suggestion. We need to install this and this, which don't come in by default. So let's look for install apps. Okay. All right. So let's just add this just below here. I'm just gonna add django.contrib.sites. Next, add in registration. Okay, so there we have it. Then we need to provide some of the missing information. So we have it here. We have account activation days. So the documentation for this is here. This is the time since when the user has registered to the time they could get to confirm their email. You can toggle around with this value. Use a relatively smaller value if it's very important for you to confirm their email. Use a relatively higher value if it's more important for you to get users up to speed as quickly as possible. So you're just gonna go right here, and you're gonna paste it here. This is gonna provide this. Right. So this takes care. The moment someone has registered, you can make sure if they're logged in immediately after that. Okay, so make sure that's reads properly. Right, so far so good. So now you're gonna install another package I normally like, because it allows us to write very, very beautiful forms. It's called Crispy Forms. Okay, so this allows you to actually automatically format your forms, which is a really nice feature. So I want to go to installation. Again, very easy. So we just need to do that. Come back here, install that as well. Okay, so that's installed. Then we come back here to our installed apps, we add the Crispy Forms. So back to our settings file, go back to our installed apps. Okay, then add Crispy Forms. Okay, so far so good. So we're done. So usually Crispy Forms works with Bootstrap, Bootstrap 3, Uniform, and Foundation. So for us, we've mostly been using Bootstrap, but you're going to be covering this in other lessons. Okay, so once we have that done, this can continue setting up here, right? So it provides us with a way and our registration, our views. Okay, so we come back, put in the view. So this is just put in our URLs. Okay, so while you do not have to specify URL, I find it a good practice because this allows you to actually know that this is a URL, not something else. Okay, so here's the thing, you need a lot of these forms. Okay, so you need to create all these forms, registration complete, registration activate, registration complete, and all that. Now, of course, we could do this, but this will take quite a while. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna use something that you already have here. So you're just gonna use something that you already have. So if you look, you're gonna see this. So you're gonna have something called registration resources, which is a link. So use that link. All right. Just gonna open it here to get the same that you're gonna get. So then I need you to download the entire folder. So what this folder has, that it has all the views that you need. I can't be working on changing them one by one. So just gonna download all of it. Okay. So once you have that, the next thing that you need to do, which is here, the next thing that you need to do is to make sure that this is actually in your file. So let's go back here. Let's open a folder. Okay. So we come here, come to your home, or maybe you can just create a new folder here for registrations only. I'm just gonna call it templates. Inside this, we're gonna put in our registration. Alright. So there you have it. Make sure that all our registration files are there. So we no longer need this particular folder. So now we have our new views here. So you can refresh maybe to see. Right, so we have a new templates file. However, you might have noticed that all this is currently not being loaded. It's not part of any app. So we said if we put in a folder called templates in any app, it's going to get automatically loaded in that particular package. However, these are available on a more or less global scale. So we need to make sure that Python can load that as well. So how to do that is by looking at, let me close this one out, is by looking at this particular setting here. So we need to provide the DARs. The DARs is where Django is going to look for extra files, right? So how to do that, we have some of that information here. So you're told build paths into the project like this. So we're gonna be lazy and just copy it like that. Look for our templates once more. Come down here. Okay, so templates. Alright, so we come down here. Then paste in our new path. Okay, but since here what you have is templates, so we're gonna do that as the path. So provide that as the path, of course. So something like that. Close it off and close off the list. Okay. So right, so we need to close like that. Section that works. Wait. Okay, so that's where we are. Oh yeah, we had this over indented. So once more. Change that one out. Put in templates. Yeah, good to go. Right. So far, so good. So this is unnecessary space here. Right, so we're good. Alright, so now when Django looks for a file, it's gonna look here as well. Okay, so far we're all set. Now we have to see how this works. So let's try that. Let's try running the server now. Okay, first of all, we need to make our migrations. I think if we looked into the documentation for this, it must have been somewhere. For this one, so let me see. Yeah, so here we are. So it had manage.py syncdb. So you can just quickly look at the documentation for this. In essence, syncdb is same as migrate. Syncdb. Right, so as you can see, it has been deprecated in favor of migrate. So we're gonna just use migrate instead of syncdb. Right, so we're just gonna migrate it out. Okay, so far so good. Alright, so now we have new models, we have our registration coming, and then of course we have our site. Right, let's go ahead and start this up. Okay, let's try one of the pages, see if it works. So the path for the pages was accounts, I think, yeah, accounts, login. Okay, so let's see. So this does not exist yet. We'll discuss why in the next video. For now, let's try something else. Let's try register. Alright, so let's get here. Or at least you can see this.